name is TK Shongwani if you are new here. If you're a regular, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it so much. I love the love. Today I want us to talk about something that is very dear to me. If you've ever heard me speak, I love talking about our self-esteem as women, but today how I want to tackle it is about our body, what do you call it? Like our insecurities, I think it's such a norm for women to talk about their insecurities versus what they love about their bodies, So I hope you guys will engage with me in the comment section to just let me know some of the questions that I'm going to ask you guys today, or my view on some of these things where our bodies are concerned. I would really love to hear your opinion. So anyway, when it comes to insecurities, I feel like a lot of the insecurities are society based, because I think about it that if nobody told you that you are not looking a certain way or didn't focus on what was the it body, would you have the insecurities that you now have or maybe you once have? Because the reality is we grow up even emotionally and mentally, and then sometimes what was an insecurity back in the days is no longer insecurity. So with the body shape that I have, and it's in my family, so we've got big thighs. I laughed the other day that heard my dad saying that his thighs are too big. I've heard my brother say that as well. And it's so funny because these are men, but they're born in the same family that I'm in. So we have big thighs. That is a reality. And I think back in the days, remember how Cosmopolitan and your Glamour would have like a body section, where maybe they are showing an exercise or what to eat to reduce certain parts. One of the things that I realized today was the biggest scam is creating a thigh gap. Look, with my body shape, unless I'm really skinny, and I've never been that skinny to see it, right? But it's almost impossible to have a thigh gap because my fat will always be around my thigh. That is how my body is structured. You know what I'm saying? So when you are busy doing all these exercises, all in the name of creating a thigh gap, it's such a scam. But somebody decided that having a thigh gap was having the best body. Growing up, the more lean or even like athletic bodies were a thing. So my body shape with curves was not something that mainstream was appreciated, whereas yes, Kokaisi as in Lokshin Township, that body structure has always been it. Okay, the shape of my legs being bracket has always been it. The curves have always been it. However, I was not always in that environment where it could be appreciated, but also we must bear in mind that even though the body was it was also sexualized a lot, and it is still sexualized today, But those were my insecurities, because that's what I heard all the time, that, we have big thighs, these thighs, and we exercise because you want to, reduce the big thighs, but it's the body structure, like literally, it's not even about being big boned, it's the structure makes my bottom part of the body to be fuller versus my upper body, and even now only that I have bigger arms that I never had. That was never natural for me and everything like that, but I know with more fat gain or whatever, then it is becoming like that. So you hear a lot of people, and this is my thing, that when it comes to our insecurities, I think it makes more sense to be insecure of something that you created versus something that you were born with. You know what I'm saying? So like I've already spoken about the shape of my body, having the big thighs and everything like that. That is natural. I was born that way, right? In terms of like, that's how my body will always gain fat. But I cannot be out here being insecure about my nose. Like, it's the same. The nose is also the same. It's something I was born with. But other things that I feel like whatever I am born with, I need to make peace with and enjoy it and own it, because that makes me me. I know there's a lot of people who change their bodies because they want to feel better, whatever. That is your thing, right? But for me, anything that I'm born with, I definitely will not change. But if there's anything that is not what I was born with and I created it, so for instance, my teeth have a crack. I have no idea how I got a crack on my teeth. This one specifically, I think, yeah. And I am always so aware of it when I look at my videos. But that doesn't stop me from talking or talking differently. That is how I look right now. I will change it in time. I'll go see a dentist and get it sorted out. And I've got the right molar, because also I don't think medical aid covers, like cosmetic kind of stuff like that. But it's not a big deal. It is what it is. I am conscious of it, but not to the point that it stops me from living. Only when I watch my videos and I'm like, ooh, okay. Not cute for someone who is very aware of, making sure that they look good and everything like that. So, need to work on that, right? No problem. Weight gain, I created that. I ate too much. I wasn't exercising as much as I want to. Therefore, I can be insecure about it and say, you know what, girl, you have not been looking after yourself as much as you can, but that doesn't stop me from living. So what? I changed my dress code maybe, or I wear clothes that fit me. That helps a lot. And everything like that, but I still feel like, okay, I created this mess, therefore I need to fix it. But anything else that I am born with, I feel like that doesn't make sense, to be like that. We cannot all look the same, like we can't. And the reality is in society is that trends change, right? Yes, we know people are paying to get the body shape that I have, so the booty is there, the hips are there, the thighs are there. Someone is paying for that, okay? It's their thing. But I can tell you for free, few years from now, that's not going to be a thing. The fact that there's people already who are reducing that surgery that they did, are we allowed to say, yeah, I think we are, whatever it is, remove, fat so that, they look more like how they used to look like. Years ago, high cheekbones were a thing. I mean, we have people like Black China who've reduced that. I mean, she already had high cheekbones, so to then go and add that, she realized that there was no need for that, So I think that whatever cosmetic surgery that you go under, you must know that if it's because you want to be accepted now, that is going to change at some point, and it's not going to be in fashion, and therefore you're gonna keep changing yourself for whatever trend there is. It's gonna change. Probably the masculine body is gonna come back. It's slowly coming back. If you're naturally born that way, great. If you need to work for it through exercise, that's fine. Because you're getting stronger. However, in that masculine and more athletic body, if you are a curvaceous woman naturally, even in your skinniest, then you're not gonna reach the peak of looking athletic. You know what I'm saying? So make peace with how you look like, I mean, I'm not going to dictate it to you, but I just think we need to think a little bit more about the changes that we're making in our bodies and what it really, really, really means, And also, I want to ask something. When somebody changes their body and you are bragging about it, I find it so strange because, and that's me, maybe that's my limited belief, because you did not get that naturally. So going around and bragging about your body as if you were born like that is weird for me, and I see it's a trend. And let me know if my thoughts are a bit dodgy. I'm okay to be corrected or to hear a different view, but I'm always like, why would I brag about something that I've actually had to recreate? I wasn't born like this. It's not a natural look. I don't know. That's what comes to mind when people do this. But also what I always like to mention when it comes to our bodies and our self-esteem and how we're created is that we are a combination of our parents. I know we're all not happy to have the parents that we have based on whatever circumstances we were born in, but our bodies are generally like this two people coming together, their people coming together, you know what I'm saying? Because you might not have the body structure of your mom, but you might have the body structure of your aunt. So like for instance, in my experience with my mom, it was limited because we were raised by my dad, but she was not curvy the way I am. Right? And I look at my siblings, and not my siblings, my aunts from my mom's side, they're full bodied, but I can't really say I see the shape when I see most of my cousins having a lot of this kind of shape that I have. So someone the other day, I think we were attending a funeral, and they said, no, our grandmother, who, only passed away like 2 years ago, was more the curvaceous one. But obviously we didn't see that because, obviously the body, how she dressed was more covered up, so didn't get to see that. My dad's side of the family, also big people, big thighs, you know what I'm saying? There's a few people who are actually tiny, especially for women. Most of the women are curvaceous, and some men as well and stuff. So that is like a structure that we have. However, being obese is not natural, and we have a lot of people who are obese. I'm what's that word when you just digressing? What I was trying to say about this thing of being your parents, you are a combination of your parents. That's what it is. These two people came together and you basically are an identity of them. And I always say that usually when people criticize themselves, I think of it this way. So let's say you are You cook for your family. That's what you do all the time. You cook for your family, you're a baker or whatever. Any form of creating. We don't like it when we get criticized. The most sensitive people on earth are artists, for example. Sensitive. Because it's subjective to my own interpretation, blah, 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 and everything like that. Because we don't want to be criticized for what we created. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when we criticize what we're naturally born with, it's us actually criticizing the work of God. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it is really, really a criticism to say, God, I don't know if you had a bad day, but what you created here is not it. I am not signing this off. It's not the one. Get someone else to do it. You know, which I feel is an insult, you know, because for whatever reason that we were created the way we are, I think it's perfect just the way it is. Yes, society has its standards. We know even King David, one of the qualities that got him to be chosen as king is that he was handsome. He was a hot man, okay, King David. So yes, we know society standards have always been there, but I've noticed over the years, especially because social media has made things so much easier, we get to see people our age, people who come from our same environment, people who are the same gender as we are, and you realize that confidence is such a thing, you know, like plus size women are out there owning their bodies, you know, everyone is dressing the way they want, whether you approve of it or not, it's not their problem, you know, and I think that has freed so many people to say, you know what, I love wearing short things, so I'm going to wear them, you know what I'm saying, as long as it's a size for me, I'm going to do it. Do we as a society approve? Most of the time we don't, you know, because we've been programmed that only certain bodies deserve to be looking a certain way, and therefore we will criticize anything else that looks different from that. So we need to question ourselves where that is concerned. But yeah, I think let me close up this conversation. I want to hear from you guys. What insecurities do you have? When I tell people that I don't really have insecurities, now that I'm over the thigh gap thing, I have cellulite, guys. I have cellulite, but I'm not actively trying to get rid of cellulite. Like get cellulite, and then and then you know it's not a disease. It's not. I'm not just. It's not a. What is the word? I hate it when these words leave my head. I'm not disformed, you know what I'm saying? For whatever reasons that there is cellulite, whatever. It is what it is. It doesn't make my clothes look bad. And you know, I know how to put on undergarments that makes everything together so that the cellulite is not that visible. You know what I'm saying? Because, okay, fine, whatever. It might distract you if you see too much of it, but I'm not going to try and get rid of it. But if I'm wearing a bikini, I will wear the bikini as a bikini and not have to do anything to feel like I can't wear it. Yeah, I have a size and a bikini looks amazing on me, I'm gonna wear it. And everything like that. So yeah, what are your insecurities? Why do you have them? It's because of how you were raised and everyone around you look different from where you are. Or maybe even now with social media, you're seeing the popular people, people who are regarded as beautiful, you know. Someone who has dark skin. I mean, I hear parents all the time, you want to be so dark, staying in the sun. Rather, to educate about the dangers of sun exposure, not because of pigment. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to be darker. I actually enjoy looking darker, to be honest. And I hated it as a child. I hated it because everyone in my family is lighter than me, except for my dad. And growing up, I am getting lighter, but I'm like, you know, my darker skin, there was nothing wrong with it. Obviously, I've now become lighter because I am mainly indoors versus outside and everything like that. But you know, when I hear these conversations and you know, it's about telling the child you're gonna get so dark, so that they hate that, and it's like, but there's nothing wrong with being dark, you know. Why must someone who's dark be named? You know, get these names, you know, Dagi, Mnyamani. It's the same with people who are very light. If you're the lightest in your family, you also get names, you know, Veti, Roy, all these random stuff. Then you're like, I wish as people we just accepted each other just as we are and just enjoyed being our skin, and we didn't feel the need to criticize each other based on our looks and how different we are, you know. I look forward to living in a society where women are just so comfortable in their skin, so comfortable. I know so many women who cover their bodies because of the shape of their body, and I understand it's because it's been sexualized. I've made peace with my body shape right now. Like, it is what it is. And I know when I lose weight, my bum is going to probably disappear, but that's fine. I'm not attached to it. The rest of everything I have will stay. My thighs will remain big. I will have hips, but I know something that has come and gone and, increases depending on my body shape is my bum. The nyash be nyashing, you know what I'm saying? But I know I was speaking to a friend of mine the other day and she was talking about her body shape. She's tall, curvaceous, and tiny. And when she gains weight, you see the bum increasing a little bit. And she said, I realized that I take this from my mom, but I never see it because she always will cover up her bum because, for whatever reason. And I do know, even though I've never spoken to her mom, it's because society sexualizes it, the kind of attention you get, and not everyone wants that attention. It gets uncomfortable when people are just staring. I know when my waist was smaller, it was so weird. I would have people who's a stranger. Imagine a stranger coming to you and grabbing your waist because, oh my God, and then going on about, do you eat? I mean, I'm not as tiny as I was before, but I still get those comments. And it's cute at some point, but when you're in a place, you're trying to order food or whatever, and that's all people are talking about, it gets very uncomfortable. So I get why people do hide, because you don't want all that attention to yourself. I know there's someone listening and saying, what? I would pay to get that attention. Well, you do you, boo. But yeah, that's where we are as humans. Can we just enjoy our bodies? Yes, be healthy. That is a thing. Look after our bodies. But I don't think this thing where we think we are less than because we've got a different body shape, because we have a different nose. My nose is a big one. It's gonna get bigger the older I get because there's something that happens that the older you get, the nose gets bigger. This is what makes me needy. You know what I'm saying? That's why even when I do makeup, hardly do the contouring. It must be like a very special occasion. I'm like, I want to just do the most on this face, and I'll do it. But isn't every day? This is the body, this the nose you are going to get. The cheeks, I know that's the case. When I gain weight, cheeks are the first thing that come out. Naturally, I've got fuller cheeks versus like that, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing to it. So let's embrace what we have, whatever it is. Some people don't wear sleeveless stuff because they're uncomfortable with their arms. It's your arms, babe. It's your arms. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? So why are we covering up? So it's just weird, all these standards of beauty. I look at it and I think, life, needing complications are as it is. The last thing you want is to be adding other things, especially if it's something you were born with. Yes, if you were not born with it, I get it, why you'd be insecure. I mean, as a woman, our bodies change so much, the older you get, and if you've had children, and understand that insecurity, that one makes a lot of sense. However, I've heard a lot of women then admire their bodies and what their bodies have been able to achieve through childbearing and going through all the emotions and hormones that have had to change over your life. It's a lot, it takes a lot in your body, so you give yourself grace. But you do the best you can to look after it. But to be in a position when you hate it, I mean, stretch marks, there's people who hate the stretch marks, And I've got stretch marks, but I think mine are lighter. Maybe that's why I'm okay with it. But there's people who've got darker ones. I understand why you think, And but that's you, Even if you expose them, it will still be you. If you don't expose them, it's still you. Your body has changed. You've grown. You've gone taller. You've gone bigger. I know someone who has hectic stretch marks and they're tiny. They've never not been tiny. But I realize because they are very tall, and that's probably, the body stretching created that and everything like that. So yeah, I think we've said enough. I want to hear more about your insecurities, or if you don't have any, and how you've overcome those insecurities over the years, over time. And if you're a mother or a parent, because I see I'm growing in terms of the men who watch my channel, love it. Thank you guys for coming through. But if you're a parent, or you're a guardian, or someone who is in that, you're the adult who has people under you that look up to you and stuff. Like, what conversation are you having that's different from the one that you had growing up? Are you being body positive, or are you taking every opportunity to act like how your parents or your aunts, uncles used to comment about your body? We have it. Even to this day, you go to a funeral and you're going to be told by some auntie how you've gained weight. They don't even know how to greet you. Their greeting will be, yo, olomukana, and everything like that. I hope this generation of parents is changing the narrative. People being well and happy. There's other kind of things that are great in life, and the reasons the person has gained weight might be deeper than that. Mentally, they're not in a good space. or maybe they are just very happy and they could care less about, gaining weight and everything like that. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. Let's talk in the comments section below. Please do subscribe if you've not done that. If this is the kind of conversation you'd like to have, please do join me. I love talking about all things wellness, but this is a beauty, wellness, and a little bit of lifestyle channel. So I hope you will stick around and enjoy all of it. All right.